Hello there, this is Russell Owen, writer director of Shepherd and Inmate Zero, and you're listening to the Horror Squad podcast.
Hello, welcome back to the Horror Squad podcast, episode number 410, where tonight we're talking about Bone Tomahawk from 2015, directed by Mr. S. Craig Zahler, I believe is how you pronounce his name. I'm Todd. We got Steve here. We're Joeless because he was in the pool this weekend, and the little jet that squirts out water, he got his pee-pee stuck in it. So he had to go to the doctor and get a couple stitches, and he's recovering in bed. So we wish him a full recovery from the pee-pee in pool jet incident of 2025. Fun fact, not the first time he's done this. So maybe he'll learn from it. I don't know. I don't. Steve, you got anything going on, man? Anything?
No, no. He. You know what the crazy thing is about it is that he always does that at Monster Mania. I guess it's like a specific hot tub that he does like over there at his hotel. So damn it, Joe. Just like
Take your pee-pee out of stuff, man.
yeah, exactly.
It's weird.
Yeah. Anyway, he's not here. We're here. I got nothing going on. It's Thanksgiving. The day, well, it's the day after Thanksgiving, the day this episode
Hmm.
releases. So hope everyone had an amazing Thanksgiving. But at the
Yep.
time of the recording, it hasn't happened yet. So Todd, what's going on for Thanksgiving for you?
Let's see. We're doing got a ham. I actually did all the shopping for it yesterday. We got I'm doing a ham, stuffing, mashed potatoes, a baked macaroni and cheese. You got your Hawaiian rolls. You got your corn. What is it called? Brown sugar carrots. Dude, we're doing everything. I got
Nice.
two pies. I got a chocolate. What kind of pie guy are you, Steve? Because I like a wide variety. Pecan's really good, but I didn't get any this year. I got chocolate and apple pie with like the little crumble
Yeah,
on the top, whatever it's called. I don't know. But what do you like?
yeah, pecan's probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big like dessert person in general, but yeah, I like it more, I guess, the sugary kind, not the like I guess fruit kind, like apple, that kind of stuff. It's like I don't know. I prefer fruits in their natural like form for some reason. I don't like fruit tasting things. I just like the fruits themselves. It's just
You
I
like
don't know.
raw dogging those fruit,
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's
all
weird.
natural.
Yeah, it's except oranges for some reason. Oranges, I like orange flavored things, but not actual oranges. I don't know. Just one of those things, I guess.
What about orange juice?
Yeah, I'll drink orange juice. I mean,
Orange, yeah,
it's not my preference, but yeah, I'll drink it. I'd rather do that than eat an orange. I don't know. There's something about it. I don't know if it's a texture thing
weird.
or like, yeah, just not a fan of an actual
Hmm.
orange.
All right. But let's see. We got final episode update. I started writing or not writing, editing the wraparound. So I'm about 3 minutes into that, and that's
Nice.
going really well. Extremely happy with what we got. And then Steve, you got something going on this weekend, right?
Yeah, finishing up this weekend. I meant to finish it like in the last few weeks, but I got stuff going on, and now I finally have like a free weekend to just do that. I also feel a lot better, which helps a lot. But yeah, I'm really excited to get it done. I get it edited and then send it to the guys for review very shortly. So yeah, we're getting there.
Hmm.
We're we can see the finish line. So pretty excited.
Yep. Yep. Still gunning for a first quarter, probably end of first quarter 2026 release
Yep.
on Tubi. And yeah, I guess we'll go from there. All right, Steve, what have you been watching, man?
Yeah, so speaking of Tubi, I've been really going into the 2025 stuff right now. I'm trying to get like the most I can before the year-end episode. So I actually watched two Tubi originals this week that were 2025 films. I've been saying in the past that I feel they're getting better. There was a time where original meant like it's going to be really fucking shitty. But honestly, the last few that I've watched have been better. Like, there's no top 10 one kind of movie yet, but I think they're starting to get a little bit better. I recommended Match last week, and the first one that I watched this week is, like I said, a 2025 film called Lookout. So, Lookout is a movie. So it's about a girl who goes to a lookout, which is like basically a fire watch tower that they have in the forest. It's basically a person that lives in a big like tower in the middle of the forest, and their only job is basically to make sure that there's no fires in the forest. It's like a security measure, and they live there for like 1 to 3 months. So it's a very like kind of long stint. It's a long stay. It's her first ever shift that she's doing. She has a month shift, but she talks to other lookouts that have been there like multiple months and have been doing it for years and stuff. And it's just her trying to get away from her life. And, she thought this would be kind of a simple job. You're in the woods, you get kind of do your own thing. So she's in there and she's, of course, like struggling a little bit because she doesn't follow rules. She's always like going down the lookout and she's going to do stuff like explore the woods and stuff. Her supervisor keeps telling her like fucking stay in the tower. That's your job. Like don't miss on like call times when you're supposed to report back saying there are no fires, all that stuff. But she's stubborn, so she keeps going out and she finds a woman who's badly burned. So she brings her back to the lookout, calls in, her supervisor for help, and from there on, there's a mystery that starts unraveling that involves a kind of killer. I won't exactly say what it is or who, but yeah, that's kind of the film. Is this woman in this lookout tower in the middle of the woods having to deal with this situation? If you ever played the game Firewatch, that's what I was kind of hoping this would be like. It'd be kind of a murder mystery type thing involving other lookouts, mostly her on her like, CB radio talking to them. But honestly, it's not really that at all. A ton of characters just come into play that you're like, this is supposed to be in the middle of the woods, and I don't know where all these characters are coming from. Like, I don't know. It wasn't like my favorite. I think the lookout stuff was cool, but the horror stuff left a lot to be desired, to be honest with you. So I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. Not one I would really recommend unless you're really into something like a Firewatch type situation and you like kind of a look at it. I thought it was a cool like location for a horror movie, but this just wasn't it. So that's on Tubi.
I was gonna say it sounds just like Firewatch, that game,
Yeah,
which I know
yeah.
I know you liked a lot.
I loved Firewatch. I don't know. I was just really into it. I felt like I was in that watchtower, like going through the experience with him.
Hmm.
I felt that at the beginning of this film as well, but once the horror comes into it, it kind of just lost all its steam, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right, bummer. Okay, so I had movie night with the boys Brent and TJ this weekend, so we had 3 films to watch. And TJ's pick was Stepfather 2 from '89, directed by Mr. Jeff Burr, which I don't. We've covered one, right? Not two. Do we do a combo?
We've definitely talked about two,
Yeah.
because I know I remember talking about it. I don't know if we actually covered it though.
Okay. Well, Jeff Burr, he directed Leatherface, that's TCM Part 3, Puppet Master 4, Pumpkinhead 2. He's a sequel boy. He's a sequel boy. And this one follows Terry O'Quinn. And he's in, at the ending of Part 1, spoiler alert, he gets fucking shot and stabbed, and we think he's fucking dead because he should be, because he got shot and stabbed in the heart and thrown down the stairs and blah blah blah. But he's not dead. He's been locked up in a insane asylum with his little scars on his chest, and he totally fucking punks this doctor and like manipulates him to like take his cuffs off, send the prison guard out of the room because I'm just a soft guy. I'm confused. I know I murdered like 5 different fucking families, but I'm a nice guy. And the doctor's like, yeah, I'm gonna break through with this guy. I'm gonna write a book on this guy. So eventually, of course, Terry O'Quinn manages to kill the doctor, kill the guard. The only sane person at this point is the prison guard. He's like, dude, doctor, this guy's not a nice fucking guy. He's a serial killer. And he's like, no, man, get the fuck out of this room. I don't need your help. Okay, whatever. It's your ass, doctor. Anyway, he kills him, breaks out, and of course, the most inept police force in the history of the world. Literally, dude, he is like 15 yards from the prison gate and the alarm's going off, and there's not one fucking guard looking out the window. If someone look out the fucking window and we see Terry O'Quinn sauntering away. But anyway, he fucking takes off, kills this guy, kind of assumes his identity a bit, and then moves. I think it goes to California or something like that. Meg Foster plays this mom who has this son. He plays Bill from the original It. Rest in peace. So he's in there too. And yeah, Meg Foster with her creepy ass like stare through your soul eyes. She's like I don't know, like I have this husband that like he took off and he's fucking some chick and then he's like, oh, a new target to try to build a new family with. And then for some fucking reason, every housewife in this fucking block, like 12 of them, come over to his house day one and they're like, oh, we hear you're a psychiatrist. No vetting, no ID. I don't know if they have IDs, but no, nothing. They just take his word for it. And then they all get together, and I've never heard about this, but they have like group therapy where one of the girls is talking about blowing her husband. And I'm like, what? We like this guy already? Ladies, what are we doing? What's going on? No wonder why the mailmen and the milkmen of the past are banging all these housewives because they go to this guy's house in his living room, start talking about blowjobs on day one. Anyway, the only one that is sane in this group is Caroline Williams, who you'll know from Stretch from TCM2. And she's like, I don't trust this motherfucker. He's slimy, he's creepy, he like stares off in the distance. Of course, no one believes her because Meg Foster just wants that dick, dude. Wants the dick so bad. And then Terry O'Quinn's like, whoa, we have to wait till we get married. And she like pouts and stuff. And then he ends up railing her to the point where she can't fucking walk straight, dude. She's in bed, and I sent a picture of her to the Discord because I don't understand medically how she's able to lay like this on her stomach with her back turned or with her leg turned sideways over her. I don't even know, dude. It was fucking weird. He rails her. She's out for like 6 hours. Meanwhile, the son never shows up again. He's like in there for a minute, disappears. I'm like, aren't we? Don't we wonder where fucking Bill from It is? No one gives a fuck. So we follow him, and he as he's doing his new scheme, trying to hit. And his whole MO, if you haven't seen the first one, is he's obsessed with like the perfect family. And on the outside, he's a great guy. He's trying to be a family man, but he's really a piece of shit. And if they do something that he doesn't like, of course he snaps, kills them, moves on to the next one. But like, a lot of people fall into his bullshit because he's, charming, nice, blah blah blah. So we follow him as they get married and eventually have an implosion and everything goes wrong for in this movie, his name he calls himself Gene. But man, Terry O'Quinn, he's a fucking beast, man. He's so good in this. He's great in Lost. He's great in these movies. But the problem is, like, this movie does not need a sequel. The first one ended so fantastically, like him getting blown away, shot, saying he loves the family and dying, and then it just like to have him be alive is pretty cheap. Kind of like Halloween Resurrection, where like H2O ended perfectly. Michael getting his head cut off, and then oh no, it wasn't. But that being said, like as a standalone film, it's pretty dang good. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. We watched this on disc, but I think this is streaming. Yep, it's streaming on Prime and Shudder in the US. Stepfather 2 from '89.
Nice. Have you watched Stepfather 3?
No, I haven't.
Oh man.
Is it meant to be the same character, or is it a different guy doing the same thing? Do you remember?
I don't remember if it's the same character or not. But trust me when I tell you, man, he is not the focus of that movie. He's not one you're gonna like leave and remember. It's Stepfather 3 has something that just like defies science, and it's hilarious at how bad it is. But yeah, Terry O'Quinn's amazing, man. I love him in that
He's
series.
great.
All right. My second one is another Tubi original, also a 2025 film, also a one location film like the other one, and that is Takeout. So, Takeout is the story of a young woman. She goes to her shift at a diner. It's like an overnight shift. She's like in college or something. And the story is basically just the midnight shift at this diner, and they have people, come in and out of the diner and they deal with them and stuff like that. And as that's going on the news, they're talking about, they call it like the doll maker, which is a serial killer that like has creepy dolls that he leaves at the crime scenes and everything like that. And then this kind of creepy young dude comes into the diner. He orders something, and the girl goes outside to the car to get something, and she notices a creepy doll in the back of his car. So her and the person she's working with kind of concoct a plan to grab the keys from him while he doesn't know, so they can kind of check the car, see if they can see any evidence. Sure enough, they find a body in the trunk, so they go back into the diner, but they don't call the cops. Oh no. They realize that there's some kind of like huge reward if they call like this specific number that's like part of the family and everything like that. So they try to call that number and try to get the reward before calling the cops. Bunch of things happen, and then the whole story is about, did he really kill the people? How do you deal with the people that are coming into the diner without closing it? It's just like a whole kind of like, a one location thing with people coming in and out. It almost feels like a play in that sense, where you have characters that come in and out of the story. You have like different reasons to keep the guy into the diner so he doesn't leave, and then it gets, more and more complicated. And it's a really cool kind of mystery that is evolving in the way that things happen that don't expect. I had a really good time watching this. Unfortunately, at one point, there's a twist that was pretty cool, But after that twist, I feel the movie just like overstayed its welcome. They like just go way too far into it, and there's another twist that felt completely unnecessary, and overall it was just too long. They cut 20 minutes. Like they do that one twist and maybe add 5 minutes to kind of like complete that storyline would have been a fucking amazing film. But they just went too long with it and overstayed its welcome. So still gave it a 3 out of 5. I think it's an enjoyable film. I think people should check it out. It's still like a cool kind of murder mystery plot, but they just they needed someone to tell them, okay, this is too much. Just tone it down a bit, and we can have a better film. So that's Takeout over on Tubi.
Nice. Did you watch the Hellraiser Red Band trailer for the game?
Just the original one from
Okay.
like a couple months ago.
Oh yeah,
Is
the new
there a
one
new
looks
one?
really cool. Yeah, it
Nice.
reminds me a lot of Condemned, which is fucking a
Oh
great
God, I
part one
love
and two back in
Condemned.
the day. Yep.
Yeah, it's amazing.
All right, my next one, and I got a bonus one, because I've watched Steve's. What do you call this?
It's like my Discord challenge, but I gave
Okay,
to you guys for October.
nice. So I'll give that bonus after this one.
Mhm.
This one's Brent's pick, a movie we covered a while ago, Madman from '81. This one stars Galen Ross, who in the film is credited as Alexis Stubbin. And I did some research and it's because she was this is a non-union project and she was in the union, so she had to change her name for the credit, which is fun. But anyway, these group of like 20-year-olds something, they're supposed to be, I don't know, they're at a camp, they're the counselors, it's like the last day or something. And they're like telling stories, right? And it starts with this fucking annoying fucking guy named TP singing a song. And it was so hilarious, man. Like the guy that plays TP, like I guess he wanted to be a musical artist or something, but he sang two of the soundtrack songs in this movie. And like the first time it's like at the campfire, so it's like okay, they're just fucking around, it makes sense. But then like in the lovemaking scene, I'm like, that sounds just like this fucking guy. And I looked on the credits, I'm like, holy shit, it is. And then the end credit scene, it's him again. I'm like, man. And it's just like I wish these songs were on Spotify because they're just fucking ridiculous, but it was a good little touch. But yeah, there's a legend called Madman Mars, and apparently like he snapped back in the day and killed his family and like um supposed to be like, a mile away from the location, there's this hold a house, but this guy literally throws a rock when he's at the campfire and it smashes the house's window. So did he throw the fucking rock 300 yards or did he throw it 10 feet? Like, are we far from the house or are we not? So it's a little fun with geography there. But then he's like, dude, don't fucking call out to Madman Mars. You'll call out and you'll get him over here to kill us. And he's like, yeah, right. And this one kid who disappears the entire movie, he's lost literally the entire movie. He walks off and causes a whole chain of reaction and doesn't fucking suffer for it, which is strange. Um, but Mars, he comes and he attacks the counselors one by one, and uh, I I really like this movie. I give it a 4 out of 5 because I have a lot of fun with it. But like watching it critically, and which I think we did when we reviewed it too, this got some glaring issues, man. Like every single scene, it just lingers forever, dude. Every character that dies has like a freaking 5 minute shot of them just like reacting to noises and walking through halls and creaking on floors and stuff. Like get through it already. And then just like the most hilarious backstory from Galen. They were having a lovemaking scene in the spa, jacuzzi, whatever you want to call it. And the actor, the guy that was singing the soundtrack, I guess he got pissed off because she gave him notes on his kissing and he stormed off and he locked himself in the sauna for, 20 minutes and he wouldn't come out. So when he came out to film it, and once she tells you where the break was, you can tell like there was some animosity between them because it went from like them making out to them like 10 feet away from each other, just spinning in a circle. And it's the funniest shit of all time. I wish I could have been there. But Madman, like I said, it's got a lot of problems in it, but I personally have a great time with it. It's so fun. The killer is just this giant like oaf, and he does this goofy ass run through the woods like 3 times. It's really funny. And the ending is really cool, man. Like spoiler alert, who cares? You think the final girl Galen is gonna live, but no, she doesn't. And it's fucking really good how she goes out. So yeah, give it a 4 out of 5. And streaming, let's see. I know I have the Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray, but I'm not sure about it. Might be on Tubi. Let's see. Yep, it's on Tubi, Pluto, and Shudder in the United States. So Mad Men.
Nice. Episode 225 for those who want to listen to our full
Nice.
review of it.
Okay, so I got my bonus one, Steve's Challenge, and I finally watched it. Apologize for the delay. And it's Society from '89, a film that I had never seen before. And oh boy, this was strange, man. It's like so incestuous and weird. And honestly, like I was bored for most of it. I was like, okay, like let me look at my phone here and there. And then the last 20 minutes or so kick off where people are just like rubbing each other in body oils and gore and blood and piss and jizz, and it's fucking weird, man. Like the story is like these rich kids live like they're living like it's rich uptown, right? Where everyone's like high society and blah blah blah. And seemingly like the only normal one is the son in this family. But he's kind of like he feels like left out because he's not like, I don't know, blonde hair, blue eyed, and his sister's like fawned over by his parents and things like that. And they keep all the people keep saying like, well, society, you have to fit in with society. And what the fuck is that? Is that like society as we know it, or is it an organization? Is it fucking aliens? Is it fucking lizard people? I don't know. We'll find out. But they have like, I guess how you would say like a coming out party for her or something. And it turns out like these things, they're not exactly aliens, right? They're like they evolved alongside humans, so that but they're kind of like our overlords, but secretly.
Yeah,
And like
for
they eat us and shit, and they suck our fat out of our dicks, and like they're like mouse mold to like skin, and they like fucking slurping up your butthole, and it's just very strange, man. It is very strange. It's very gross. The ending has some crazy ass like imagery of like a butthole coming or a face coming out of a dude's butthole, and it's just like I'm not. That's not even a joke. A face is coming out of a dude's butthole, and it's just weird, man. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. It's very very greasy. Oh, and Brian Usna. I mean, that guy's a fucking underrated director, man. He's really good. But it's crazy. It's nuts. But I still give it a 3 out of 5. I didn't like love it, but that last 20 minutes or so were fucking just weird as hell.
yeah, I think I gave it the same thing. I just thought like that's one that you guys should see. It's like one that I guess comes up once in a while. I see, and yeah, that butt face thing
But
is
man,
yeah, is hilarious. Yeah, it's definitely that last 20 minutes that makes that
mm,
movie because the rest is yeah,
it's
it's weird and
gross.
boring.
Yeah, very gross. And then like I don't know, he sees his sister naked quite a bit. That's before the weird shit starts happening. So it's like, what's going on before this? That I don't know. It's just the whole family's just weird as hell. I don't know. All right, anything else?
No, no, that's it. I did have a movie club. I'm not gonna talk about the reviews too much, but we watched Thanksgiving, which we all had a ton of fun with. It's just like one of those kind of ridiculous low budget killers where a talking turkey kills everybody, and people like at one
Nice.
point the turkey wears like a guy's face, and people think it's that guy, even though it's clearly a fucking turkey with just a face on it. It's like that kind of movie, and we had a really good time watching that. And then we watched one called Weenie Roast Massacre.
Oh,
Wow, that was like one of the worst films I think we've all ever seen. It was just boring. It was fucking boring. It was basically the whole movie, I think, was just for this one guy who plays guitar to like make himself look good. Like selling his music and stuff like that. It was just a really fucking shitty film, and we all like just
mm,
couldn't with it. Thank God we're all together and making fun of it because watching that on your own would just wow, it would like torture you. So those are the two we watched. So thank you everyone for coming to that. And next month we're gonna do another two film movie club. We're going to do a Christmas film and a Last Chance 2025 film, which will be voted on our Discord. So join our Discord completely free, and you'll be able to vote for that. And speaking of votes, just right now there is a vote going on for what we're reviewing next week because Joe can decide. And yeah, so you'll never know what you can find in the Discord. It's all sorts of stuff and exclusive pictures to like our movie and stuff like that. So definitely worth joining, and it's
cool.
completely free. We don't like charge for anything. So there you go.
All right, sweet. All right, Mr. Bone Tomahawk, and I'll just get the joke out of my system now. Boner Tomahawk from 2015, 2 hours, 12 minutes, directed by Mr. S. Craig Zahler, starring Kurt Russell as the sheriff. Patrick Wilson as Art, Matthew Fox as Brooder, Richard Jenkins as Chicory, and Lily Simmons and Samantha and some other people. All right, in the Old West, a small town sheriff and his ragtag posse set out to rescue several townspeople from a brutal, cave-dwelling, cannibalistic Indian tribe. All right. So basically, this movie starts out with David Arquette and Sid Haig, rest in peace, Sid, like slitting this fucking dude's throat, right? Immediately. Like that's what it opens up, the guy getting his throat slit. And it turns out Sid and David Arquette are like these little like fucking thieves and killers and everything. And they stumble upon like this sacred Indian ground or whatever. Sid Haig is killed, but David Arquette manages to get away. Lo and behold, David Arquette's character, he shows up in this small town nearby, and he gets shot and arrested by the sheriff. They're played by, like I said, what's his face, Kurt Russell. And he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna fucking hold you." And the reason they were like went straight to shooting his ass because they saw him with like burying shit outside of town and turned out it's covered in blood. So clearly this guy's a piece of shit. So they lock him up. Patrick Wilson, we meet him and he's laid out in bed because he has a broken leg because he's trying to do a little bit too much on the trail there. He got up on a roof or some shit and fell off. His wife's a banging hot chick and he's banging her dude in one scene, right? And then they go to fetch the Brooder, who play by Matthew Fox. He's like this hard-nosed cowboy, dude. He's in the saloon. He's fucking eyeballing people. He's drinking. He's wearing a white suit, dude. I don't know if that's practical. It's probably getting really dirty in the desert, but hey, who am I to judge? Bruder goes to get the doctor to help this fucking David Arquette's leg because he got shot. Dude's fucking drunk. So they go to Patrick Wilson's house. They fetch his wife because she's like a surgeon's assistant. I don't know if they don't really explain it, a doctor of some sort. And then she comes over to help him out. She decides to stay with David Arquette and the deputy overnight to watch to make sure he doesn't die. And then in the morning, they're missing the deputy, the wife, and David Arquette. And they're like, what the fuck? But they find an arrow and they're like, what the fuck? The Indians attacked? And then they bring in like a native or whatever that's friendly to them. He's like, hey, dude, you know this fucking this arrowhead's from? He's like, yeah, dude, these fucking crazy ass Indians up in the hills, man. We don't fuck with them. He's like, cool, will you take us to them so we can like get her back? I'm like, fuck no, I'm not going with you guys. Like I said, those guys are nuts. So Bruder, he's like, fuck it, I'm in, dude. The sheriff, Kurt Russell, and then his deputy, played by Richard Jenkins Chicory. Am I missing someone? Oh yeah, and Patrick Wilson, who has got his bum ass leg. Those four men set out to go find where the Indians are to get back his wife, the deputy, David Arquette, and see what the fuck's going on. So they go out on their mission to find these people, and it runs afoul. Man, I this is the first time I've seen it in 10 years, so since its release in 2015. Um, and gosh, I really like this movie, man. The characters, the setting, the lack of score really makes it personal. Like it kind of makes you feel like you're in it. Patrick Wilson does a fantastic job, I think, of portraying his pain because his legs fucking snapped in half and he's walking through this and he's falling, he's tripping and he's getting in fights and Matthew Fox's character, like the hard-nosed cowboy, he's just in it to fucking win it, dude. He just wants to kill natives and you'll figure out his backstory later because he has a personal beef with them because they killed his mom and sister sisters back in the day. Kurt Russell's a fucking star, dude. You can't say anything. He's just fucking amazing. He just plays this role awesome. And then Richard Jenkins to me is a bit of annoying. But that's not because he's a bad actor. It's just because the character is like an older man. I don't know if he's borderline special needs or not, or maybe a little bit like in his twilight years, and he's older and what's his word? He's like foggy brain or whatever you want to call it. He annoys me at times, but the whole movie just comes together, and in the end, it's just fucking insane what they go through. So I love this movie. What about you, Steve?
Yeah, I watched it like 2 years ago, so it was kind of fresh, but I was eager to watch it more with a critical eye, and I actually changed my score from 2 years ago. I gave it 4 out of 5 2 years ago, and it's going to be different this time. I just really love like a lot of what they do in this movie, and it's known for being brutal, particularly in the last like act, basically. Once they get to where the like quote unquote savages are living. But honestly, there's so much brilliance before that. Even though it's slow, how they like make this movie because you see them walk for a really long time. But the conversations they have felt so real. It didn't feel like it was just filler. It felt like these are real people conversations that they would probably have in the woods. And they all play their roles so well because they are so different from each other. I actually found Richard Jenkins' character to be almost like the heart of this film because he is kind of so simple-minded. He brought like levity to the whole situation. It's very obvious that the other characters kind of get annoyed by him because the things he say are kind of weird, but at the same time, like it brings a lot of heart to the whole like group, because Matthew Fox's character is really like kind of stone cold. He's a killer. Like he's just straight up killer. I think he even says at one point that he had killed 116 indigenous people. Like prior to that, you know, like you said, he had his reasons for that. And then you have Patrick Wilson is just fucking suffering the whole time, and you're suffering watching him. And Russell, man, like Russell, no, not Russell Crowe. Oh my God, Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell's like an A-lister. You know, he's one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. And I feel if they gave this role to anybody else, it would be like their film. Whereas I feel that Kurt Russell plays his role in a way that he really kind of melds into the group, and he doesn't act like he's the star of this film. You know, he really like shares the screen with everybody, and I think that's also very much in character with who he's playing. He's like the leader, but not quite. He does like put a lot of like in like energy into the others. I don't know. There's something the way he plays this role just feels like I'm a team player, not a fucking like star. You know, I don't know. I just really liked it, and that's why he's so fucking good in everything he does. And that, but then you get to the brutal stuff, and holy shit, they do not fuck around with the gore. All practical. It's just fucking insane. And yeah, this movie is amazing.
Yeah, it's a good point about Kurt Russell because you're absolutely right. If this is Tom Cruise, we know it was Tom Cruise, you know. But no, that's not a dig at him. It's just like Kurt Russell just plays this. I don't know. It's just I guess it goes back to the beginning of the film where like they know the natives took him, right? And they're like, all right, with no hesitation, like I'm going. So is Patrick Wilson because he has to go. And let's just fucking do it. Like it's just a team, right? And then Bruder, he's like, I'm fucking going to, and then the deputy, yeah, I'm fucking going to. It's just like I think, I watched it with the homies, and one of them said, like, and this is a good point, that none of these guys are fucking superheroes. There's no John McClane in this movie, right? And you would think on paper, like Kurt Russell, okay, he's gonna fucking get a ten kills in a row, or Bruder, who's this fucking just beast of a man, is gonna fucking take out everybody. And that's not how it goes, man. There's no superheroes in this. These guys are in over their heads. They probably should have called for backup, but time was of the essence because I think they have like a 3 day ride or something like that, 3 or 5 days something, which is fucking brutal. And I just like, and you're married on married. Steve's got his long term. It's like so being in Patrick's shoes, like thinking like, what are these fucking guys doing to my wife? And he can't really fucking do anything because he's at the mercy of his leg and he's tripping and falling. It's just like imagine his headspace with this injury he's dealing with, plus his wife having unknown things done to her. Because these guys, they know they're cannibals, I think. So it's just like, I don't know. It's just brutal thinking about what he was going through as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And he sells that injury so well. Like you feel it's like painful to watch, you know? And then you wonder the whole time, is he just going to die from like sepsis or some kind of infection or just exhaustion, you know, because he's walking the whole time because they lose their horses pretty quickly into the story. Yeah, they just do such a great job. And I mean, this movie is so like bland in color. It's very like beige and brown and like desert. Uh, and usually that would bother me, but it plays such an important role in this film. And they're all wearing like brown coats, and like you said, Matthew Fox character is wearing white, which is like the worst thing to wear in the desert. Yet he still like looks pretty good, even like by the time his last scene comes into play. But yeah, it's crazy. Like on paper, I feel like this movie shouldn't work, but the way it was shot, the way it was directed, like you said, the lack of score until the end, the characters, the way they play off of each other, everything was just really brilliant.
Yeah, and I also liked how, also on paper too, or like traditionally, Bruder would probably get his comeuppance, like, and have a scene where he's like, "Yeah, see, I knew you were full of shit, but this guy's the real deal." Like he's running his mouth saying like, "I'm gonna get the draw first on you guys because I'm better than you," and exactly what happens. Someone triggers his alarm. He gets up, shoots right away. He draws on the guys that steal his horses, kills two of them right away. They gave him shit for it, but he was right. They come back later, his posse, and steal their horses, and puts them in an even worse situation. And I just like by the time you get to the oh shit, they're gonna fight the natives, you're feeling for these dudes. And it comes out of nowhere too when they get ambushed. Like it's just it's they're walking and then they're fighting, and it's so fucking rad how that plays out. And then Matthew Fox gets his fucking hand cut off, and he's like, can I have a cigar?" Puts it in his mouth. He's like, "Can I have the repeater? I'm gonna kill as many as possible." And they just fucking leave him. And then he has his last stand, which you gotta love last stands, dude. And he goes out, and once again, you think he's gonna kill five or six of them. Nope, he gets one and he gets killed. But it's so fucking good how it happens.
I love the line that wait, I wrote it down here because it was just too good. Uh, so after he gets like his hand severed and he's like kind of bleeding out and stuff, he says, "I'm far too vain to live as a cripple." So he has
It's so
such a
good.
high esteem of himself that not having a hand, he's like, "I can't live anymore." Like, I have a reputation to uphold of being the hot guy, you know. I love that for his character. That's such brilliant writing to me. Yeah,
I totally agree. It fits him too,
it does. Yeah, yeah,
because he's
totally.
a smartass the entire movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's a great character.
Also too, oh, fantastic character. And going back a little bit, he makes a in the beginning, Bruder escorts the wife to the sheriff's office to do the medical, and Patrick Wilson's like, don't fucking try to hit on my wife." And then that's a callback too later on, where they're gonna leave Patrick Wilson behind because his leg's just fucked. And they're like, you can catch up if you can, right? And then Bruder's like, "Hey man, when I get there and save her, I promise not to hit on her." And he fucking freaks out and punches him. And I took that as a jest that I would have laughed at. But where do you think, Steve? Justified for Patrick Wilson going off on him?
Well, he does say that one time he hit on her. I think it was like years ago, and he's like he's never forgotten it, you know. So yeah, I don't know. It was like I think there was some truth to it too,
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Patrick Wilson's a good looking man, so like,
for sure.
it's not like she had her pick of the litter though. She's great looking. But I
Yeah,
just thought that was a great callback.
yeah. Something else that's early in the movie that we didn't mention that I have to mention is when he first goes to the bar, he makes a guy like play the piano, and it's the fucking principal from Back to the Future, which
Oh
is
yeah,
so cool.
totally.
And
You're a slacker.
he looks the fucking same, which is funny because they make the same joke in Back to the Future that he like doesn't age, and here we are, fucking like like what 30 years after Back to the Future, and he still looks the goddamn exact same. Yeah, wild man.
Yeah, that man doesn't age, dude.
No,
But yeah,
no.
his he's trying to be like, why is it fucking 8 cents or 10 cents for three when the discount is like two for five or something like that? It's like, because I get tired and I need to be paid more to play. It's just like he was great. Um, but how do you feel about the natives themselves? Over the top, just right? What do you think?
Uh, so I mean, it worked for the movie, right? Because they needed to look intimidating and they needed to look like someone who's like who would be able to kill these obviously really great characters, right? But it also felt a little far-fetched. Like they were almost like early predators, like, especially with the whole voice thing that they do. Like it just seems so. It seemed like a lot for for them to do, like to actually like suture themselves this kind of voice box that makes them able to scream this like crazy like dark sound. I don't know, like it worked though for the movie, but it was also a little bit unrealistic because they felt more like monsters than these could actually be people that you could find in the desert.
Yeah, the voice box things just seems impractical. Like you can't bang a stick together. What was the voice thing just for terror purposes, do you think?
It has to be right because or is it just like it has to be unique so that they can
Uh,
like know if it's their tribe versus like other indigenous people in the
Other
area.
bone throat tribes?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but it did, but they're also like you see African tribes that they have
That's true.
like bones in their faces and they stretch out their necks or they stretch out their ears or their mouths or whatever. Like it's, maybe it's just like a cultural thing for them
Guess
is
so.
to insert this kind of, I don't even know what it is. Like what exactly that it's like a bone of something,
Something.
right? It
Chicken neck or
must be
something.
some animal or something that
Yeah.
that's in the area. But yeah, but also they're fucking massive and they're all painted up and yeah, they're intimidating as hell,
Yeah,
But
they're definitely eating well because they're
yeah,
jacked.
oh yeah, for sure. They're Yeah, and let's get into the gore. Like, holy
Mm.
shit, man, they do not fuck around with the gore in this movie. It is so like realistic and just brutal.
Oh, I know. And when Patrick Wilson, so yeah, to back up a bit, they make it to the Indian hideout. Matthew Fox dies, and then Richard Jenkins and Kurt Russell get captured and taken up there. And then they find that the deputy from the beginning and the wife are still captured. And she's like, "Don't fuck around with them. They killed and ate David Arquette because he was being an asshole." I don't know, but so now it's up to Patrick Wilson, this fucking one-legged Patrick Wilson hobbling around to save the day. And he eventually makes it there, and he cuts out the bone and puts it in his mouth. Fucking gross. Just so he can pretend to be one of them, so they can throw a rope down so he can climb up. That's fucking disgusting, dude. He got every AIDS imaginable in his system from that.
Yeah, and he's constant. Did you notice every time he used it, like not just at the beginning, all the way to the end, every time he has to like spit something out, like a
Yeah,
piece of
ugh,
flesh or a piece
gross.
of like yes, blood or whatever that's
Phlegm,
still
yeah, ugh.
inside. Oh my God, it's so disgusting.
It's
But I
disgusting, yeah.
mean, it's a necessity, right? Like it's the only way he can think of that gives him an advantage because
Mhm.
he's obviously disadvantaged with his leg. He's a great shooter, thankfully,
I know.
but
Not when he first fights.
oh
Like he
yeah,
shoots
right.
like 9 shots and misses everything.
Yeah, that's well. I mean, he hits stuff, just doesn't hit the
Yeah.
target, where he's supposed to.
But then he
Uh,
shoots that fucker in the head and he keeps fighting. I'm like, gosh damn, what, go down.
yeah, for sure. No, yeah, it's definitely cool, and I like the scenes where they're captured in like their lair. I especially like the flea scene, which
Mm.
is so Richard Jenkins, like basically like he's always chatting, he's always asking fucking Kurt Russell all
Constantly,
these
dude.
these stories. Like at one point he's talking like, "Hey, do you read in the bath?" And he has like a whole fucking scene where he talks about reading in the bath and how impractical it is and what he should do about it. And Kurt Russell's trying to sleep, and he's got this guy's just like talking
He's
his
like, dude,
ear
shut
off
the fuck
about it.
up.
Yeah. But Kurt Russell, too, to his credit, he's like, "Oh, you should use a music stand and put it next to the bath," and he gets all like happy about it. And they do kind of the same thing in Captivity, where he's talking about like a flea circus that came and it did all this
Yeah.
crazy shit, and he's wondering if it's real or it's a trick. And Kurt Russell's like, I don't know, man, like whatever, just stop, stop talking. But the girl who's on the other side of the room, who hasn't been talking because she's kind of pissed off, because Patrick Wilson followed them. I guess that kind of made her angry. She says, "No, I think the fleas are real, and they actually did that." And she knows it's bullshit. She knows it's all a trick,
Yeah.
but it made the guy feel better. And at a time where they really needed it. And it's these little conversations, these little moments, I think that makes Bone Tomahawk really like good, like a really
Mhm.
like amazing film. But then you get to the fucking brutality. Holy shit! First they
Is that
have
bef
that other guy. No, that's
Ugh,
after they kill that first guy who's like
gosh.
he's another guy from the town. I don't remember
He's a
exactly.
deputy.
Is he another deputy? Is that what
Yeah,
it
he's
is?
the
Yeah.
younger deputy that stays with her.
Yeah, so he's the one that most people I guess will talk about when they talk about
Oof.
this movie. He gets scalped at first, and then he gets like torn to basically in half, almost
Hmm.
like in
Dick
Terrifier,
first, though.
like the original Terrifier with the upside down girl, but it's a guy, and it's just like and way more crude. Like you could tell their weapons aren't super sharp
Yeah.
because they have to like hack at it, and it's like, oh god damn,
Well, they
just
start with the taint and nuts, dude.
yeah, right,
Like the viewer sees his ass. Like he's basically doing a handstand,
yeah,
and they're like hacking at his nuts and ass, and then one grabs each leg and just rips him like a fucking wishbone. Which I think this is way more effective than the Terrifier one.
agreed.
Um, it's just there's every person feels that that twinge
Mm.
in your crotch when you see that happen. It's just fucking disgusting.
And the sound design is so
Mm.
on point in this whole movie. Like I said, because there's no score, there's nothing else to accompany it. So you hear every bone and every piece of flesh
Uh-huh.
just getting like ripped apart, and it's just wow, it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah. Um, I did like how they tried to poison a bunch of them because they had like I think it's made probably morphine or something like that in a flask for medical reasons. But then they pretend like they're arguing over it, and then the Indians come like, "Give me that fucking flask," and then they
Right.
drink it, and it kills one of them, poisons another, and the other one's just fine, right? So they fucking freak the fuck out, and that
Hmm.
Kurt Russell like he doesn't get off, that's ugh. So the flask is in like a fire for like I don't know a couple hours, And then they pull him out because they're fucking pissed. Like they figure out that they were poisoned, and they cut open Kurt Russell's stomach and then shove the burning flask into his the open cavity. It's just fucking awful, dude.
Yeah, it's so gross. And again, like major stars don't let themselves, be like tortured like that, and he does, and it's brutal, and you don't expect it. You don't expect he's the one who's gonna die in a scene like that, and it's just like holy shit, just absolutely awful. And then they shoot his fucking hand off, and like, god damn, it's
Mhm.
yeah, he gets tortured pretty bad there at the end until Patrick Wilson comes to save the day, limping his way into the
Crawling
room.
his way in there,
I
dude.
crawl, yeah, he's crawling at that point.
So that's my I guess if I had to nitpick something, like so the natives don't look to see who's coming into their fucking cave just because they hear that little screaming thing, they toss down a rope and then they pull them up. Is that what they did?
Yeah,
They tossed a rope.
no, I think they just tossed it and then went back to the
How the
room.
fuck did he climb that mountain on
It's
one
Patrick
leg?
Wilson, dude.
He's
He could do no wrong.
he's Night Owl or whatever his fucking
That's right.
name
Yeah,
was
from
from
Watchmen.
Watchmen. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he crawls in there, starts fucking blasting people. And then Kurt Russell, man, he that it's also fucked up where after that, the native is like trying to figure out how to use the rifle
Hmm.
and like trying to reload it and shit, and you just know bad shit's gonna happen. And like it's right to like, oh, he's gonna die, and then Patrick Wilson shows up. But
Yeah, he was gonna shoot Kurt Russell in the dick. He
oh
was
my
blow
gosh.
blow his dick off is what he wanted to do, but he
Ugh.
thankfully he didn't know how to reload the rifle. So
Yeah.
until he
Um,
did, and then they're
until he
like,
did.
"Oh shit!" Yeah,
He's got a rifle. He starts screaming it.
yeah, yeah, right.
Um, but then yeah, they win the day, but there's a couple left. They don't know where they're at, so Kurt Russell's like, "I'm gonna stay behind. I can't move." And a heartfelt fucking scene, man,
Hmm.
because we know that Kurt Russell's got his wife at home, and then Richard Jenkins' wife had passed away. So he says something like, "I'll tell your wife hi for you. Can you tell mine bye?" or something like that, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. He says in reverse, but he says, "Make sure you say goodbye to my wife for me, and I'll
Mhm.
make sure to say hello to yours."
Yeah, come on,
Yeah,
man,
it's
it's
such
a
a
great
touching.
line,
Yeah,
great
exactly.
line.
Um,
And then he decides to stay back and just kill these motherfuckers, and then
yeah.
they escape, and
And
um,
something I love about that scene, and it's so like subtle, is we could have easily seen Kurt Russell like kill the last few guys, but he specifically says there are three left because the Patrick Wilson's wife there had told him how many there were total in this tribe, and there were three left, and they leave. Kurt Russell with the rifle, and they're coming down the mountain, and then the deputy hears three shots.
yeah,
And it's not till hears that third shot that he smiles because that's how he knew he got them all. And it was such a cool moment of him like acknowledging that Kurt Russell lived long enough to kill those three guys. I kind of wish that after the three there was a fourth one, just like knowing that he also kind of ended it.
kill himself.
Yeah, but I
He just
guess it,
bled out, you think,
yeah, he probably just bled. He probably held on right until
or took an arrow or something?
sure, yeah. But it was cool that they had the three
Yeah.
shots. You don't see it, you just hear it in the distance, and
Mhm.
like okay, mission's good.
So, did you watch the deleted scene by perchance?
I didn't know.
Okay. So there's um the sheriff is like, hey, you need to have a conversation with Patrick Wilson. We don't know what the conversation is. So do you have an idea what it is? 'Cause I watched the deleted scene, so I know, but I just want to know if you have an idea what he wants to talk to him about.
Where's this in the movie?
It's towards the end where they leave. They're gonna fuck off, and he's staying behind in the cave. And he's like, can you have a conversation, one-on-one conversation with Patrick Wilson? And he tells that to the deputy, and he's like, yeah, I will.
Oh yeah, right.
Okay. What is your idea what they're going to talk about? Because they don't talk about it in this movie.
I thought he'd ask him to like replace him as the sheriff. Like he needs to take care of the town basically while I'm gone. That because obviously he's a great shot. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought they meant by that. But I guess if they filmed it, maybe it's something else.
No, that's exactly what it is. So there's a deleted scene that is takes place after everything happens. And that's the conversation Rachel Jenkins has. He's like, hey, well, we need to get you back because you're gonna be new sheriff. He's like, what? And he's like, yeah, sheriff told me to ask you to be the new sheriff, and that's it. So I'm like, I'm wondering why they left that out. Do you think it's better leaving it out
I mean,
or keeping that in?
I'd put it together without seeing it. So
Mm,
I don't think it was necessary. I think the end, you don't want to go too long with the end. I
yeah.
think at this point you want to kind of leave some of it to your imagination. I mean, we already saw Patrick Wilson like kissing his wife, but she asked to like clean his mouth first because he's been
Yeah,
blowing
but he
into that
barely
fucking
fucking cleans
bone.
it, dude.
Yeah, I know. He like
He
just
barely
wipes
cleans
it.
it.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so yeah, I think that would have just added a little bit, maybe a little bit too much. That was kind of
Mm,
unnecessary.
too
You
little
know,
hokey.
yeah, it's kind of like not showing those three shots at the end. Like I don't think it was necessary. We could put it together ourselves.
Yeah, I agree.
Hmm.
All right. Anything else about this? I mean, they keep sex slaves in their little lair.
Oh
That's
yeah,
disturbing.
it was disturbing, but it was like almost unnecessary because they really don't dwell on it enough to make it like a plot point. They mention it quickly at one point when they first get captured. The girl kind of says there's two sex slaves back there that are pregnant, and then you
Ugh.
see them really quick, just kind of there. But I don't know. It's just like it didn't have enough of an impact on the story to be, I guess, as
Yeah.
impactful as it could have been.
I think
It's
maybe they
just
could have implied that she was going to be a new one, but they didn't really go that route. So I
yeah,
guess that could have been more effective, but also not needed because rape and all that's never
right.
needed in
Yeah,
film.
it's
So,
it's it's like in so they do the same thing in Mad Max Fury Road, right? Where you have women who are
oh
basically
yeah,
just like baby machines. And that was effective because that was an actually like important plot point.
yeah,
But in here, it just felt like if you're not gonna make it an important plot point, like you said, that'd be great if they were basically making her like the next one, for that.
yeah,
And
prepping her.
they had already started. Maybe already putting like some of the bones in her face because I don't know if you noticed, but the women had
Yeah,
like bones in her eyes or whatever. Like uh,
fuck, dude.
they should have had started the prep so okay, she's gonna be a next wife. Maybe she should have been with them, in some capacity where they're like in the same cell or something because I don't know. The way that they set it up just wasn't enough to be impactful.
I don't know if though if I would want this like sexual violence. I mean, not want, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I think
sure.
it'd be a little too far.
It
Just
was
because we,
it was unneeded.
yeah, exactly. I mean, we already have these characters that we like dying brutally, so I
Right.
think to add that extra thing, I'm gonna assume that she wasn't sexually assaulted because it's just fucking, it's awful,
At
and
least
maybe she was
yet.
getting prepped to fucking eat, like they're just eating
Right.
people. But oh, I thought something was really funny unintentionally where one of the natives is walking around with a leg and he's eating it like a fucking turkey, like
Right.
just
Well, like
nonchalantly.
a
I'm like,
Disney
dude,
World. Yeah,
yeah.
like
I'm like, dude, you didn't even cook it, dude. Come on.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, for sure. And I wonder what happened to David Arquette. Did they mention it? Like, did I
yeah,
miss
they
that?
said they ate him.
Yeah,
She tells him that they ate him. Yeah,
yeah, it's too bad.
they
Like
only had
for
him for a
someone like
day, so
right, like it's too bad with someone like David Arquette. You'd think they'd have him for that scene or something.
yeah,
Like at least hanging there or something. But no,
that'd
that's
been cool.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. I guess final thoughts. I mean, you heard all our thoughts here. I love this movie. I gave it a 5 out of 5. I originally had it a 4 out of 5, but at the end of the day, man, the characters are great. The setting is really cool. You feel all the pain and the hurt from everybody, and everyone just plays their role extremely well. From Kurt Russell, the biggest star by far in this movie, to Matthew Fox, to everyone in between, just fantastic. And then the brutality of it is just off the fucking hook, man. So much blood, and played so subtly that it's not dwelled upon, right? It is for that fucking when they're pulling that guy's legs apart, but as far as like the battles and like getting his hand cut off, it's just it happens and they move on and they keep fighting. It's fucking nuts. So 5 out of 5 for me. I watched this on Blue. There's a brand new, I think, 4K steelbook out, and I'm not sure if this is streaming anywhere.
Well, at least in Canada, it's streaming on Tubi. So that's where I watched it last night. Like I said, amazing movie, really great. I gave it 4 out of 5 the last time I watched it in 2022, but I'm bumping it up to 4.5 out of 5. I think it's brilliant. It is a bit slow at times, like it's a long movie. That's 2 hours, 12 minutes, I believe. And you feel that runtime, especially during kind of the walking scenes. But the dialogue's brilliant, the way it's presented is brilliant, the acting is amazing. So yeah, it's just kind of missing out for that 5, but 4.5 out of 5 is where I feel comfortable with it. And Joe agrees. He also gave it 4.5 out of 5. He says it may start slow, but the story is still interesting enough, and then the second half goes full speed and never lets up. So yeah, we're
Yeah.
all obviously really high on it. It's an amazing film.
Yeah, United States plays in it's on Tubi and Pluto, so
Okay,
watching
there
it
you
for
go.
free.
Mhm. And what about Letterbox?
Oh, yep. So yeah, everyone thinks it's a 3.6 out
Really?
of 5, but
3.6?
that's the like the
The
general
general,
consensus.
yeah,
But the homie rating is a 4.2, so closer
yeah.
to where we're at. So uh,
I
yeah,
guess I guess if you're like a normie and you see like it's a Kurt Russell film, I could see how you're like, oh fuck, like I don't know if a non-horror person that's like a Kurt Russell fan would think this is good, you know?
like they're
Uh,
trying to watch Wyatt Earp and they see this and
right?
like, what
Yeah, they probably think
Tombstone?
it's fucking Tombstone, like they get this, you know? So yeah, no, I could see why people rate it lower.
Ah, fuck them. This movie's awesome. We need more.
Exactly.
Have you seen this guy's other movies?
I saw, was it
Dragged
Brawl
Across Concrete,
99?
Brawl in Cell Block 99. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that one. That's the only one I think I didn't look at his full filmography, but
Yeah, he's got one's in production looks like, and he's got three out, which I thought Dragged Across Concrete was okay, but Brawl I think is fucking really good too.
mhm. Yeah, no, definitely. It's fucking brutal. He's a brutal.
Oh, I know. He likes his violence.
Yeah, that's for sure. I will say, okay, so before we close off the show, we while we were talking, the vote for the review next week has closed, and next week we will be reviewing "Don't Open Till Christmas," which I believe is from the early
Hmm.
'80s, maybe
I don't
'84.
think I've ever seen that.
I haven't either. It's playing over on Plex for free, so you can just watch it there. And yeah, I'm
Let's
curious.
see.
This starts a 1, 2, 3, 4 week Christmas run, so we're gonna have a
Wow.
lot of Christmas movies this year. So it's gonna be pretty interesting. We have so Don't Open Till Christmas next week. Then we're going into Edward Scissorhands. Then possibly The Mean One, and then finally a Discord vote. We're each gonna pick one and let Discord decide which one we review. So
Very
very
nice.
festive December this year.
Yeah, for sure. I need to watch Good Boy too. That I know they just dropped on
Yeah,
Shutter.
yeah, same. That's on my list, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm curious. You know, I hear kind of things on both ends, so
Hmm. Well, you do like things on both ends, so let's close out the show here. Yeah, you can follow us on Discord. Like Steve said earlier, it's free to join. You get all sorts of groups, fantasy football, movie night. We play VR golf together, VR games together. We play PlayStation and Xbox online together, horror games, all that crap. We got fitness challenges where we talk about and support each other with losing weight and getting in shape and gaining muscle and all that crap. And just hanging out and having a good time, man. So find us in Discord. You can send us an email. You can follow us on Instagram on our personal accounts or the Horror Squad podcast at gmail.com for emails, Instagram. I guess we have threads. I've never even fucking downloaded threads. I don't know what the fuck that is.
it's
Um, some
the same.
bullshit.
It's just they're all the same. Like,
They're all the same fucking thing. Yeah, and Joe's better at the spill than I
yeah,
am.
yeah,
So
yeah.
thank you for
That's
listening.
Joe's job.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
All right,
Bye.
bye.